Economic wages remain stagnant at the same time, new taxes and revenue policies multiplied, creating impression that government increasingly views Nigerians not as citizens but as customers. And while economic pressure intensifies, insecurity continues to spread like a wildfire across the northwest. Urban banditry has grown more daring in the middle belt. Communal violence and banditry also and armed attacks continue to destabilize communities. In the northeast, terrorism remains persistent threat despite years of military operations. Five or six high-ranking military officers within the span of 3 months were killed. The tragedy becomes even deeper when those tasked with protecting the nation themselves become victims. Nigerian soldiers continue to fall on the battlefield and by killed by terrorists, despite being stretched with multiple battleground. But perhaps the most painful moment come when civilians are caught in the violence they were supposed to be sheltered from. One incident that shocked many Nigerians was the bombing of Jili market near Yobe, Borno border. During Operation Hadinkai, civilians were killed in a marketplace, a place meant for trade and survival by the very forces assigned to defend them. Borno state government was quick to come out and claim that they had closed the market 5 years ago, not even addressing the deaths of about 200 civilians, according to some reports, even though they say that the terrorists are embedded in the civilians. Shameful and disgraceful. That is within the Nigerian territory. Why conduct even airstrikes when there are troops that can be deployed and easily crush the terrorists without civilian casualties? This is very sad. The calls for thorough investigations and web of condemnations are not enough. There has been mm, two or three incidents like that. There has to be accountability, and the DHQ has to put rigorous and harsher measures in place to avoid repeating these kinds of what they call quote operational mistakes. These are the people tasked with the responsibility of defending our lives, protecting our lives and properties, yet they are now killing us in the name of operational error. Come on, what is that? At the age of artificial intelligence and all these technologies? That's very sad. Someone must be held accountable. There must be a consequences and responsibility over this issue. This moment lit citizens asking difficult questions about the direction of the war against insurgency and the banditry and the safety of ordinary Nigerians. At the same time, it continues to, at the same time, the government continued to speak about solving the problem. You remember last 2 weeks when the President Tinubu was in Jos for 10 minutes to see the victims and promised that this are never going to happen? After he left, it happens again. This is negligence. This is failure. And at the same time, the government continues to speak about fiscal discipline. When presenting budgets and economic plans, officials urge Nigerians to tighten their belts. The message is clear: sacrifice today for more stability. Really? You should sacrifice today for the stability of tomorrow. Well, I don't see this kind of that. The government, despite the removal of fuel subsidy, has taken millions, if not billions, if not trillions of in loans from foreign countries, mortgaging the future of young Nigerians. Is this what they call fiscal discipline? Is this the fiscal discipline that they are telling Nigerians? Yet many citizens observe a troubling contradiction. While ordinary Nigerians are asked to endure hardship, reports of luxury government spending continue to circulate. New presidential vehicles, foreign trips, expensive residences for top officials like vice presidents, and the symbols of elite comfort, yacht for the president in the Monaco there in France. This contradiction fuels anger and skepticism. Is this physical discipline or a form of economic injustice imposed on the many while the privileged few remains untouched at the top? Beyond the economics and security, another concern is quietly growing within the Nigeria's political landscape as it is one